to BQ Prime. I'm Hiral Dadia. Overall, if you see in terms of where markets are concerned, from the day's low of around 17,600, we've seen a good recovery that's come in now, and we're trading at levels of 17,756 with gains of around 0.3% coming in there. Overall, if you see in terms of Bank Nifty as well, it's an uptick of almost 230 points in terms of Bank Nifty, nearing the 41,600 mark. To discuss more in terms of what's in store, joining us on the show is Shivangi Sarda, Analyst Equity Derivatives and Technicals at MOFSL. Welcome to the show, Shivangi, and a happy Women's Day to you.
Thank you, Hiral. Thank you for having me on the show, and very happy Women's Day to you and all our women viewers. And wishing everyone, a success and strength to stand up for yourself.
Absolutely. Shivangi, my first question coming to you is overall, the way we started off trade in today's session, clearly there is some bit of recovery that's coming in overall. We began the week gap up. There was some promise of a strong rally that we were seeing, and now it's lost momentum after Nifty faced resistance at levels of around 17,800. What do you make of this, and how are you seeing the entire scenario now?
Absolutely. So looking at Nifty, we've seen that this week was a seller move. It took support, and there was support-based buying very much intact, and we saw a good follow-up buying thereafter as well. It saw some bit of a resistance near 17,800 levels, but overall the structure is quite promising. We've seen that the FII's long short ratio have also improved to 26%, which was around 13 to 14% earlier last week. So overall, there has been buying across, and the sector specific action can also be seen, which is supporting the index. Also, the put call ratio have improved. That means that the call writers have unwinded their position, which is making room for a more upside over here. Even today, we've seen that there has been a negative start due to the dampened global cues. But then again, we saw that our markets are so strong, and support based buying at those levels, and it is closing in the positive territory. Above 17,750 levels. So overall, the structure is quite positive. Any dips could be utilized as a buying opportunity for 17,850, then 18,000 levels, with a support near 17,442 zones.
Right. So overall, Shivangi, one question I have is, if you see the options data, right? Clearly, you have the put writers which have converged at 17,600, at least during the first hour of trading in today's session. Now, we did see a lot of positions being added at around 17,650 as well. And simultaneously, if you see call writers, they are actually creating pressure at the lower end, right? So if you have to take both of these points into consideration, do we see a momentum, and how, easy enough to cross that hurdle of 17,800?
So absolutely, we've seen that there has been a lot of call unwinding at, call writers have unwinded their positions even at higher strikes, which clearly means that, there is a lot of upside which the people are expecting right now. Now, the good part is that the put writing has also increased, which is causing a little bit of a support near, the levels. Now, we've seen the maximum put writing addition if at 17,600 and 17,700 zones. So this makes it a very crucial and very strong support over here, as we move ahead in the week. So overall, the structure is quite positive, and the sentiment is quite positive if you look at the entire options data.
Right. And what's the sense you're picking up with regards to Bank Nifty as well? Because there is an interesting move in terms of Bank Nifty. We were always looking at 40,500 and 41,000, which we've already crossed. We are now at around 41,400 in terms of Bank Nifty. Is the up move expected to continue? What's the derivative data indicating?
Yes, absolutely. So the Bank Nifty put call ratio have been improving from the last few sessions, and we've seen a base formation over here, quite a strong one, because the index halted at the base, and now we've seen after the short covering move, we can see that the longs are being built up. quite well. Now, even today, we've seen that the index is holding its 50 exponential, moving average on daily frame. And looking at the entire setup, we could see, 42,000, 42,250 levels in the near term, with a support near 41,250 levels.
Right. In terms of, in fact, banking counters as well, IDFC First, PNB, a Bank of Baroda, SBI, all of these counters are seeing fresh longs coming in with a good open interest addition as well. What would your view be? Would you advise someone to enter the stock at current levels?
So looking at the entire banking pack, I believe that the PSU banks were the one such stocks which were providing support to the index, and a lot of tailwind was got by them. So my on my radar is SBI Bank over here, which has been resilient, and despite the profit booking we've seen, again there can be buying seen at slight decline. So this stock is one such stock which is quite positive, and I would recommend we can even buy at these levels with a target near 590 levels and a support near 555.
Right. In terms of some mid-sized banks like in RBL as well as a Bandhan Bank, Shivangi, we are seeing some increase in terms of short positions, right? Plus, if you see a Bajaj Finance as well as a LIC Housing Finance as well, that's seeing some bit of a short build-up as well. Overall, if you have to look at these four financial stocks, what would your strategy be?
So we've seen that RBL Bank from the last 4 or 5 sessions, we've seen good amount of run up over here, and today's slight negation can be seen over here. But the good part is that the stock is still holding well as compared to Bandhan Bank. So I would say that RBL Bank is still positive on the outlook, and if one is holding the stock, one can hold it. But the resistance is near 170 level, so watch out for this level, and support near 160 on the immediate side. Now, Bandhan Bank is clearly on the weaker end, and we've seen that the stock has been quite beaten down from a long period of time. So not recommending anything here because the stock is highly volatile. And looking at Bajaj Finance now, this is one such stock which has seen quite a lot of weakness from mid February itself. So and we've seen that a fresh breakdown today can be seen as we are heading towards closing. So the this stock would see a little bit more of a downside over here, and we could about see levels of around 5750 levels over here, and the resistance would be around 6100 levels.
Right. Another stock that's in focus in today's session is the BHEL. A strong up move coming in today's session. Open interest build-up is also pretty strong. And if you see the performance in the last 5 trading sessions, the stock is up around 10 to 11%. Though from a one-year perspective, it did hit a high of 52-week high of around 91.55. Overall, would you recommend to enter? Are we seeing strength on the charts?
Now, BHEL, we've seen that the weekly setup is quite positive because after almost a bullish engulfing candle, this week we've seen that follow-up buying can be seen. Of course, we are in a truncated week, but then again, buying interest can be seen intact. Even today's candle is quite a strong one as we head towards closing. Now, the good part is that the base formation has been done near 66 levels, and after that we've seen continuously higher lows forming in the stock. So quite positive. One could watch out for 81 levels over here with a support near 76 on the immediate side.
Right. With regards to Hindsync as well as Vedanta, how are you viewing these two counters? Because good open interest addition coming on these counters. Both the stocks are trading under pressure. So overall, clearly we are seeing some bit of short positions being built.
Now, looking at this entire space, I feel this is a very cyclical sector, and the very high beta. So I would recommend that people who are holding this stock, please maintain a strict stop loss. Uh, as far as Vedanta is concerned, that we've seen that there has been a deep gap down opening today, and the stock did recover from its intraday lows. But then again, we need a little bit more of a momentum here for it to sustain at these levels.
Hmm.
So wait and watch for these stocks, and we could move into better sector which are in flavor and in momentum in today's market.
Right. Apart from this, if you see in terms of the other names, say for example, even for that matter, a Bajaj Auto, good strong moves coming in with regards to Bajaj Auto as we speak. Apart from a Bajaj Auto, even you have the likes of an IndusInd Bank, which is seeing smart moves. You have a L&T, Adani Ports, as well as Adani Enterprises. From a derivative perspective, what is the data indicating on these counters? Good time to still go long if you have to look from a tomorrow's trade perspective?
Yes, so Bajaj Auto, if we talk about, this has been quite a strong counter in the entire auto pack.
Hmm.
Now, we've seen a strong open interest and price surge over here in today's session, and a very strong closing as well. So, definitely, one can carry this trade for tomorrow's session. We could see targets of around 39.50 over here on the immediate basis, with
Hmm.
a stop near 37, 36 levels. Now, talking about IndusInd Bank, the entire banking space is quite positive. But again, in this stock specifically, we've seen that there has been news-based upsurge in today's session. But of course, very strong price and volume surge over here, and the stock is getting a support from the entire sector. So we could watch out for this stock, but again, since it's a very news-based driven, price rise, I would suggest please maintain a strict stop loss. We could watch out for 1220 levels in this stock for a stop
Hmm.
near 1150.
Right. Apart from this, Shivangi, any other stocks that actually you think we should be looking at from tomorrow's perspective, which could be, either good buying or short selling opportunities?
So on my radar is Humans India. We've
Hmm.
seen that the stock has seen a lot of positive action over here. Its resistant level used to be around 1666 levels, and it is closing quite strong, above those levels. A good base formation has been done near 1550 zones, and there is good volume surge seen in the last two sessions
Hmm.
on the buying side. Now, the good part is that the entire sector, we can see that there has been a lot of momentum and positive action over
Hmm.
here. So, recommending a buy over here, and for a levels towards 1740 levels, and a
Hmm.
stop near 1640 levels. And my second pick on my radar is REC. We've seen that this stock is also one such stock which has been continuously making higher lows from the last seven sessions. And if we look at the daily chart structure, it is quite strong. It halted near its support zones, which
Hmm.
indicates that a good base formation has been done. Even on the weekly frame, it has negated, and follow-up buying can be seen thereafter. So quite a strong stock. We could look out for levels of 129, 130 levels over here, with a stop near 122.
Right. And Shivangi, another two counters, one more is Balrampur Chini. In fact, the entire sugar pack has been up in trade on a few comments that have come in from the ministry officials. But from a chart perspective and derivative perspective, how do you see a Balrampur Chini? And do you see further strength in any other sugar stocks?
Sugar stocks have been quite a lot in sweetness today. If we
Hmm.
talk about Balrampur Chini, even Renuka Sugars, this entire pack has seen a lot of action today in terms of the news which came in
Hmm.
earlier this morning. Uh, Now, looking at the structure, it has surpassed its resistance zones around 383 levels and standing strong. The volume and price upsurge which has been seen, it is quite positive, and it is in fact, giving its highest closing of the last 33 sessions. So overall, the stock is quite strong. Even if we look at the derivatives data, we could wait for 415 levels over here with a stop near 395.
Right. And two IT counters I want to talk to you about is one is an Infosys and second is a Tech Mahindra. Infi has been putting a lot of pressure and on the markets in today's session overall. Do you think time to still further sell Infi and Tech Mahindra at current levels?
So, in the entire IT pack, we've seen that on Monday's session, it was participating in the, index movement. And, the way it gave a price volume surge, it seemed like uptick from those levels. Now, specifically talking about Infosys, it has, given a little bit of a down closing in today's session. But again, IT pack, I would suggest that we shouldn't go short right now, and we could watch out for Infosys at least for higher levels if it holds 1470 levels.
Right. So that's the view coming in terms of tech names as well. In fact, thank you, Shivangi, so much for joining us on the show and giving us those views in terms of what we should be expecting overall from here on. Thank you. Stay safe and speak to you soon again. But however, overall, if you see in terms of markets, clearly we're ending around that 17,750 mark. Sensex has seen gains of almost 120 points coming in there. So a good recovery from the day's lowest levels that we've seen. If you see in terms of Nifty 50, it hit a low of around 17,602 in today's session. And from there on, we've seen gains of around almost 0.2% in terms of closure. Bank Nifty as well, a 0.6% up move coming in there, and we're ending close to the 51,580 mark. So not very far from, I beg your pardon, 41,600 levels in terms of Bank Nifty. Clearly, it was the power stocks which were seeing smart gains in today's session. IT as well as the metal pack that was a drag. Specifically, if you see Infosys, that actually put major pressure in terms of markets. Tech Mahindra was another counter which actually put pressure as well in today's session. But there was a recovery that did come in. Smart moves coming in terms of IndusInd Bank, which ended with gains of around 4.9%. Adani Ports as well as Adani Enterprises as well. Gains in the range of around 3.5%. Bajaj Auto was also pretty strong. L&T as well on the back of an order win ended with gains of 1.5%. Whereas Bajaj Finance, one of the top gainers in terms of Nifty 50, Hindalco trading under pressure. We already spoke about Tech Mahindra as well as Infosys, as well as Apollo Hospitals, which ended with cuts of almost around 0.9%. If you see in terms of the Sensex as well, almost gains of around 140 points coming in there, 0.2 to 0.3% higher. And smart gains coming in stocks like Kirloskar Engineering. Sugar Pack was an interesting one to watch out for in today's session. Majority of the stocks were trading in the positive on the back of the comment that we heard from the ministry saying that there could be a possibility of increasing the export quota by 1 million ton, but the announcement could be expected next month, taking into consideration what's the output that is seen in terms of sugar. Apart from that, Lodha continues to trade under pressure. Policy Bazaar was down in trade as well. So a lot of stock-specific action is what we witnessed in today's session. But clearly, there has been some bit of strength that has come back to the markets. We have been resilient. There was volatility. We opened gap down, but managed to close in the positive. So all the short covering that has already been happened by the FIs, and that's something which is also seeing and giving us strength. So overall, a good day of trade, not too much to really look at, but we've ended in the positive. That's something that we need to watch out for and what happens in tomorrow's session. That's all that we have on this session. Thanks for watching and wishing all the lovely ladies a happy Women's Day once again.